I think if you're Brett Veach, I feel like you're pretty happy with the way the first 100 hours of free agency went.
Oh, 100%.
You can't win a Super Bowl if your quarterback is terrible. It happens.
Yeah.
It's extraordinarily rare.
We won 2 Super Bowls without Tyreek Hill. Yeah, you know, it'd be a lot easier having Tyreek Hill on the goddamn offense.
Two things can be true at the same time. The Chiefs are a really good team. The Raiders are an absolute disaster.
It's that football show here on KC Sports. I'm Tucker Franklin, hanging out with Matt Verderame for your Friday edition of that football show. And boy, howdy, has it been a week since the last time we recorded. Thank you to our partners, Ben Holiday, Baldwin Bond Bourbon, and Holiday Distillery for getting us through this week. Matt, how you doing?
I am doing better than anybody who'd like to play for the Bills who's under the age of 30. So I am doing well. How are you? I know today's been, we're recording on a very late Thursday evening.
Yes.
I know today has been a good day in some ways, but also a long day for you.
Yeah, very eventful day. 2 breaking news team streams in Thursday. Had some meetings, some gatherings, and whatnot to get to, but we did it. We got through the day, and usually a lot of times too, Matt, during the season we would wait a while to record because of like Thursday Night Football. We'd usually wait for that, or if it was an NFC game nobody really cared about, like Commanders, Cowboys, we'd be like, all right, we'll just go ahead and rip this during the game or something like that. But now we were kind of back to, all right, well, I can't really ask Matt to record at like Thursday morning because, again, the Chiefs signed 2 guys on Thursday. So it's like we kind of have to wait a little bit later in the day. And we all know that by the time this podcast goes out, like something will happen because that's just kind of what we've kind of worked ourselves into, Matt, is every time that football show comes out, hits the airwaves, something happens. We do it to ourselves.
Yes. Which means I'm sure the second this is done, Veach will sign somebody, they'll trade for Max Crosby at like 1 a.m. on Friday, and then fail the physical. We'll get to that as time rolls on here. But yes, look, we waited as long as we could because you never know when the Chiefs are going to make a move. They made 2 of them on Thursday. One probably more significant than the other, but both meaningful to an extent. Listen, Monday was basically a nonstop extravaganza for the entire league.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of rolled along. And then we had like New Heights come out this week, and Travis Kelce was like, yeah, I knew mid-season I was coming back. Well, I could say there'd be a lot of trouble. Thanks, man.
Right.
All kidding aside, he wanted to wait, and I don't blame him. He also said what we all said. He was like, yeah, I really had a hard time going out like that. And I was like, that seems to be a good reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, look, free agency's here, and nobody told Denver apparently.
Right.
Because Denver, I think he's still not signed a single free agent.
I think they've just done re-signings, right? They've just re-signed J.K. Dobbins.
That literally, I think, and like Alex, did they re-sign Alex Singleton? I think they did.
I think they did. That sounds right. Where did their backup linebacker, did he go somewhere, or did they re-sign him?
Greenlaw went to the Niners.
Greenlaw did go to the Niners because they cut him, but then
they re-signed Stranad.
Stranad, yeah, that's
they brought him back right before free agency, I think, even opened. So, yeah, the Broncos have done very little. The Chargers are sitting on what is basically $90 million in cap space. We're like, that's all right. Right. And then the Raiders were like, guess what? We will spend enough for the entire division.
And then they got the best pass rusher in the league back.
And then they added $30 million they didn't know they were going to have to account for. But obviously, listen, we'll start here with the Chiefs, which I'll lead by saying this. We'll get into the weeds here over the next hour. I think overall, we've talked a lot about how this might take a couple of years for them to get this roster to where they truly, truly want to get to. And this offseason's about laying the groundwork. And it's also about, listen, when you have Mahomes, you're trying to win Super Bowl every year. So you're trying to make it so that you don't have any massive gaping issue on the roster.
Yeah.
Now, of course, that's going to take the draft as well. They're not going to do all that in free agency. Mm-hmm. I think they've done a pretty nice job to this point. I really do. And anyone who listens to this show or anything else I do, I have no problem ripping the absolute crap out of the Chiefs. But the reality is, I think they've done a nice job. They filled a lot of needs without any contract that I look at and go, that's a bad contract. That's a contract you're like, oh God. the longest contract they've given out is 3 years.
Right.
And that was to Walker and to Gilman.
Tonga also has a 3-year. Yeah.
It's really like a 2-year with an option. But you're right. Sure. Yes, yeah. You're right. I forgot. Yes, 3 years, 21. So, but no like crazy money. I mean, Walker's getting up to $15 a year, which, okay, fine. Gilman's getting 8. Tonga's getting 7. Like, that's fine. They got Tyquan Thornton back in a multi-year deal, which I thought was a nice job by them. I'm quite frankly kind of surprised he came back. I'm glad he did. Of course, Kelce, shockingly, Kelce didn't go to the Cardinals. Despite reporting that his reporting's taken a beating this week. My industry has not done great for itself.
Reporting is one way to put what happened on for the Travis Kelce front. That is a word to use for it.
Listen, I am going to just be a gentleman, a professional, and leave it at that. But
yes,
the reporting around Kelce was one of the oddest 24 hours I've seen a lot.
At least it gave us a really good title to use, though. Helped us out.
Yeah, what? But okay. In any event, so he's shockingly back. Listen. I mean, I think the Chiefs, on the whole, they put themselves in a position where they've got 2 really big needs, 1 pretty significant need, and then they got to fill out their depth, which they would assumingly do here in the next, month, and then they'll do in the back end of the draft. But I think if you're Brett Veach, I feel like you're pretty happy with the way the first 100 hours of free agency went.
Oh, 100%. Just to kind of, if you guys have been living under a rock, I guess, I'll kind of reset the conversation here of all right, this is what the Chiefs have signed so far. When free agency opened, 15 minutes, I think, after it actually opened, they signed Kenneth Walker, the former Super Bowl MVP, the reigning Super Bowl MVP, actually, to a 3-year, $28.7 million guaranteed deal for him on his end. Not long after that, on Monday, Khyiris Tonga, defensive tackle, big boy. It says he's 335. He's got to be bigger than 335.
335 seems light, which is not something you normally say about somebody, but I think that's accurate.
And he also has some fullback snaps as well. So 3-year deal with $14 million guaranteed for him, $21 million for that contract, but 14 of it is guaranteed. A defensive tackle there for the Chiefs. So they went wide receiver, defensive tackle. Then they had Travis Kelce come back. That's a 1-year deal, $12 million. I think he can go up to 15. So he's got some incentives to go up to 15. We'll come back to that contract. I want to get your thoughts on kind of the price, everything like that. Then to kind of cap off Monday night, they did a pair of signings really back to back. They did the Alohi Gilman, 3 years, $24.5 million for him, and then Tyquan Thornton, a 2-year, $14 million deal. Since then, they've signed Kader Kohou, who is a cornerback for the Dolphins. He did not play at all last year because he tore his ACL in training camp, but slot cornerback. And then they signed Amari DiMercato not really late Thursday night, but Thursday night. Backup running back who is a good third down back, good compliment, I think, to Kenneth Walker. Let's go back to some of these contract numbers with these higher end guys. Now, we don't have numbers for DiMercato as the time of recording this podcast. Don't have numbers for Kohou at the time of recording this podcast. We're at the point of the offseason, at the point of free agency. Numbers don't come quick anymore. You do not get numbers very quick, and there's a reason for that.
They're not big.
Right. They're not big, and they're not something they want to brag about. The agents want to brag about numbers, and they will be out there if the agent wants to brag about that number.
Correct.
Let's start with the Travis Kelce contract, because I think that number, we all kind of assumed Travis Kelce was going to be back, but we all were going to be interested in what that number was going to be.
Right.
What are your thoughts on his contract? $12 million deal up to 15. I'm curious what they did with the incentives, if they're going to do not likely to be earned, so it goes on next year's cap hit type of deal. There's a bunch of stuff that they could do. Yeah, I would assume with that. But $12 million for Travis, do you think that's about right? Or do you think that's a little too much? Do you think it's a little bit of an overpay? Do you think it's a discount? What do you think about it?
It's about right. I mean, I would have liked to see him be around 10, but that's kind of more wishful thinking, I think, from a Chiefs perspective. It's not like he doesn't deserve 12.
Right.
Because that's the weird thing about him. The conversation's weird about Travis Kelce because people sit there and go, well, he's not who he used to be. Yeah, you're right. He's still a top 5 fucking tight end in the league, though. So,
right.
It's yeah, sure. But last year, who outplayed him? McBride and Pitts. That's probably the extent of the list.
Kraft when he was healthy, but he got hurt.
Right. When he was healthy, Bowers, they got hurt.
Yeah, right.
So, it's like you take Kelce. Dawson Knox just got a 3-year extension.
He did.
Which we'll get to them.
We will.
It's like a threat, but we're going to get to them. Look, I would have liked to have seen the Chiefs do something they never do and use a void year for once in a blue moon.
Yeah.
But I'll also say this: if they don't have to, then fine. Mm-hmm. I can't imagine that they allowed that contract to preclude them from doing something else. They could have restructured Karlaftis. They could have restructured Humphrey like they didn't. So,
yeah.
And they didn't sign any massive deals. Like Walker probably has the highest cap hit of the 3 guys who are on 3-year deals. I'd be shocked if he doesn't. And that cap hit's probably like $5 million. Right. All right. So Gilman's probably 3, and I think the Tonga one's out already. I think that's like 2 something, isn't it?
Yeah, it's something crazy.
It's not a lot of money. It's not a big deal. So I think it's fine. I don't think it's a big deal. I think it's fine. Listen, Kelce coming back is a needed thing for this offense right now.
Yeah.
He's still good. He's still a really good player. They are one weapon away on offense from being a really interesting offense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because now you have a really good running back. You still have, again, I know he's old. You still have a really good tight end. You've still got God and Cleats back there at quarterback. You've got an excellent offensive line, even if the right tackle's a guy. You have an excellent offensive line.
Yeah.
You have, Worthy and Thornton is your 2-3. Is fine. You need a legit number 1, because I'm assuming Rashee Rice is just not a factor on this. Then maybe he will be, but I'm going into it assuming he's not.
Yeah, I think
they need a legitimate number 1 guy, and that's the thing. I don't know if they're going to get that, because they don't get it at 9. They're probably not going to have it.
Sure.
That's the risk you run, and I am horrified of the idea of them signing Brandon Ayuk or something, which is just beyond words terror. That's also terror because I feel like they would be the team that, but yeah, all right, maybe.
How fast can he drive past our stadium?
Yeah, right. What? Could we just? I won't even say what I'm thinking.
Fair.
Yeah, what are the odds he plays 17 games? Put it that way.
Yeah.
So, listen. I feel like offensively, they're like a receiver away from being awesome offensively.
Sure, 100%.
And if Rice is there 17 games, they might already be there. But the odds of that happening are slim.
Looking at the Tonga contract right now, his cap hit is 3.266.
Okay,
so he is taking up 1% of the Chiefs cap right now.
So not a huge number.
And even in his future deals, which I'll talk about this in a second. I mean, he's going to make his cap hit next year is 8.8, and it's the same thing for the year after that. That's only 2.75% of the cap right now, and we anticipate the cap to go up the next 2 years. So he's not making a ton of money. And the thing I like about the Khyiris Tonga, just briefly on him about that signing, is they weren't I guess we'll just re-sign Derek Nottie. We'll just re-sign Mike Pennell. They actually were okay, let's actually sign a guy that had played the position pretty well and is actually going to be a useful weapon. He's played 5 years in the NFL, the BYU guy. I mean, I remember him coming out. I was kind of high on him. I believe he was a 7th round pick. Yeah. 250th overall in the 2021 draft. Also all of their external signings, except of DeMarcado and DeMarcado actually might be the first one. We're all from the same agent and some agency.
Yeah,
Aura Sports Group. They all came. I do believe even
they were
Kohou was
all from their clients, which was hilarious.
Very funny that he was also at the introductory press conferences for all of them. He's just I'm here. He should have stepped up to the podium too. Probably could have answered some of the questions. But I like that about the deal, and I think you could see this through all of their free agent signings, right? I've talked about this on the breaking news team shows too. Is that they're showing a deviation away from just like, oh, I guess we'll just re-sign these guys and come back. You and I talked about that a little bit too with their coaching staff changes, with the everything except of Eric Bieniemy. They're like, all right, let's get some guys outside of here. The DeMarcado one, it was a big one for me too. When that happened, I was like, oh, so they're not just going to re-sign Kareem Hunt. I had already kind of resigned to the fact of like, oh, all right, that's fine. Kareem Hunt can be the third down back, short yardage. All right, whatever.
Kareem and Kenneth are going to split carries.
Yeah. You can't. Brett Veach was like, I cannot put him on this roster because he will not get off the field. He's like, Kenneth Walker will be making that much money as a backup to Kareem Hunt. So he was like, I got to go find another running back for them to try to split carries with. But that's what I took away. I mean, again, from another signing that they did is like, okay, they're not content with just like signing the guys that they have on the roster and keeping the band together and going. So again, very excited about that. Like, I think I have high hopes for, especially, I know we talk a lot about this too. The offense has to change. The scheme has to change a little bit. This gives you some hope that, okay, they're aware of their mistakes and hopefully this will bring about some change, having different guys on the field.
I would say this for both Walker and DeMarcado, and obviously Walker more so. Mm-hmm. They're signing guys who can like explode through the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
Like, they are not signing these guys for years. And not, by the way, not just Pacheco and Hunt. Spencer Ware, it's always been like the same type of like.
Williamses, yeah.
Yes. Like, they're not that fast, but like, they can. These guys are home run hitters. Like, they can, if they get a hole, and DeMarcado, this goes for him too. Like, if you get a hole, like, that guy's gone. Like, DeMarcado, I was going over this earlier tonight. I can't remember where I was. My pod. It doesn't matter. So DeMarcado is a guy who did not play a ton like the last couple of years. Like, he was under like 30% of the offensive snaps. He was backup.
Yeah.
And yet had runs of 49, 53, and 71 yards. Can you imagine anybody on the Chiefs in the last 5 fucking years breaking off a 71-yard run?
Only Patrick Mahomes, actually.
They would have had to stitch together 12 runs to do that. Like, the best 12 runs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, so you have a guy now, like, who can, like, they can hit the hole and go. And DeMarcado, by the way, can also catch the ball. He's your classic third down back. He can block. He's got good hands. You know, he's a guy who is basically what the idea of Elijah Mitchell was a year ago, but like actually can do it. He's hurt all the time. Like, and listen, to your point, they might even still bring back Hunt. Like, they might still be like, hey,
which they're going to need bodies in that running back room still. Like, that's the other part. They got three guys technically.
Yeah, they have 3 guys, right? So like, if you brought back Hunt, listen, I think the most interesting thing to me about their signings to this point, the outside signings, not so much that they brought back Thornton and Kelce.
Sure.
There are 2 themes that I find very interesting. Offensively, the 2 guys they brought in, obviously both the same position. Explosiveness, which is something that they have just had nothing of the last couple of years. And on defense, their signings right up the middle of the field. Kohou's a slot corner. Gilman's a safety. Tonga plays in the middle of the line.
Yep.
We talked about this a lot. I've talked about this, I feel like, ad nauseum over the last year. Just an expressway in the middle of the field.
Oh, yeah.
Like, yep. Cook was fine, but like, can't cover. Slot's a disaster when McDuffie's not inside. And a lot of times they played him outside. You know, like, the Pinnell, Noddy, Tillery trilogy
Good God.
has had me drinking aggressively for a solid year.
Yeah.
Like, it got to a point where, you know, it's one thing if you're weak at a position. It's another if you're a complete disaster at it. They were a complete disaster at it by the end of last year. And so I think it's instructive that the Chiefs are doing this. While also, by the way, clearly having like very defined needs going into the draft as we sit here, excuse me.
Yeah.
But also, here's one thing too that I think is important to know. So for the Chiefs last year, you know, we're talking about Kohou coming in and playing slot, because that's about 70% of his snaps in Miami were slot snaps.
Big slot guy.
You know, everybody's going to replace McDuffie. No, he's not.
Oh,
He's going to replace Connor. Because if you go and look, this, by the way, kind of surprised me. I went and looked up McDuffie and like where he lined up last year. Played 690 snaps on defense.
Okay.
38 were on the defensive line, which is hilarious. Okay. 37 in the box, 2 on punt return. As a corner, as just a pure slot or outside corner, played 134 snaps in the slot, 479 outside.
Wow.
Okay. Like, they are not replacing McDuffie. They're replacing Chamari Connor. Because if you look at Chamari Connor and his numbers last year, okay, he played all over the place, not surprisingly, but like he was 175 snaps as a free safety, 405 snaps in the box, 391 snaps as a slot corner, double the amount McDuffie played.
Wow.
So that's what they're doing. Like, Kohou's Noel Williams is replacing Trent McDuffie.
Yeah, right.
Okay. And then like Christian Fulton's replacing Watson. But they've basically set up the draft right now to, my God, do they need an edge rusher in the absolute worst way.
They're
and then
praying that Bain falls.
Bain or Bailey, man, like one of them, they got to be there. And then you need a receiver and you need, in all likelihood, another corner. But like, I would be, as they sit, if they don't take an edge rusher in the first round, I will be on the floor. Like, there is just no way this team's like, yeah, we don't need one. We're good.
Yeah.
Have to take one. And I would imagine at 9. I mean,
sure.
If Tate's there, would you hesitate or would you still take Bain or Bailey?
If it's like Tate and Bain.
Yeah, Tate and like one of those guys is available.
Yeah.
Tate and Bailey, Tate and Bain. Yeah.
That's tough. I think it's, even if it's like Lemon, I think of Lemon's like there too. Like, both those guys are pretty close to 1 and 2 for me. But yeah, I think so, because I think that you could get like Mesidor at 29, or you could get
right, or Parker or something.
Yeah, but you can't get a Lemon at 29. You can't get a Tate at 29.
True.
But you could probably get maybe Keldrick Falk. I'd feel a lot better about Keldrick Falk if he is at 29 rather than like 9.
Yes.
People keep throwing him out at 9. I'm like, that would make me sick to my stomach. But if you draft him if Keldrick Falk's the pick at 29, I wouldn't be upset. I'm like, okay, that's fine. That's the type of guy you get at 29. He, a little rough around the edges, showed some good stuff, showed some good wins. Yeah. A guy who stuck on a program for a long time. George Karlaftis is basically what he is.
Yeah.
And you get to have 2 of them, so that's good. So I think I would really love to go offense, and I would have really felt a lot more confident to be like, okay, yeah, go ahead and pass on Bain or Bailey and take Lemon or Tate, whoever is there, whoever that wide receiver is there. Which we saw a lot of interesting stuff that this free agent action kind of shows you a little bit of like how the draft's going to go, because you had the Chiefs, you had the Saints, you had the Commanders all go running back. And those were like the 3 teams that were all comp, like all mock drafts were like those 3 teams Jeremiah Love was going to. One of those 3 teams, that's where Jeremiah Love kept going to in these mock drafts. And it clearly showed you that they do not think that Jeremiah Love is going to be there when they're going to be selecting players. So yes. I think that gave you a pretty clear sign of that. But
probably not getting past 5.
I would be shocked if you got past 4, truthfully.
So I kind of would be too at this point.
But it's kind of come to a point where, they need an edge rusher bad, but I think that the depth of edge, I think the top of the edge class where you can draft at 9 is a little bit closer to what you can get at 29 than like the wide receiver at 9 compared to a wide receiver at 29, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it does. And who knows, right? We'll see who the hell's available, who's not. But man, it's one of those deals where you really, 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 like if you're a 9 and you have an edge rusher there, you're going to have a really hard time passing them up, because 100%. Right now it is Karlaftis and me. Okay. Like, Can't feel great about Ashton Gelati and FAU being edges 2 and 3.
Oh, God, no.
Can't feel good about that. So, like, the other option, too, is, like, I don't think they're going to trade for Grenard because Grenard's like $18 million a year and he wants a new contract. He's 29. Sure. Like, I just don't think they're going to do that. I would call Giants about Kayvon Thibodeau.
Sure, yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm not giving them some crazy pick for him, but, like...
You give him a 5th.
Yeah, I was going to say even a 4th. Like, I'd give him a 4th. Like, yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean... You got to make some calls, I think. You got to at least look around because right now, that is clearly the worst spot on your team.
Yeah.
You know, even at corner receiver, like you have some answer. You have no answer at edge outside of Karlaftis. 0.
It's a big bummer when you look at the defensive draft depth chart. Last question on like Chiefs free agents, I guess, before we kind of move on to like what's left, what's next. And I guess we kind of already talked about what's left. Let's talk a little bit about the Kenneth Walker, Travis Etienne of it all, because you and I had the conversation obviously before free agency popped off about the two of them. I was a little bit surprised, as I mentioned, 3 years for Kenneth Walker, $28.7 million guaranteed. Go in and look at his contract on. I don't know if his cap number is up yet. Let me see if I can find it here on Spot Track. Okay, it is not. I mean, he gets a decent contract, 3 year, $43 million, but it's not too far off of what Travis Etienne gets. It's about $1 million more per year. And when you and I were having the conversations about Kenneth Walker versus Travis Etienne, I think that my long-winded answer when you asked me who would I rather have, I said, I think Kenneth Walker's the better football player, but Travis Etienne at his price is more of like a bargain. It's more of a bargain to get Travis Etienne. I don't know if the Saints got a bargain with Travis Etienne. I think the Chiefs might have ultimately came out on top with the better football player and a pretty decent price for it.
Listen, I think Walker is the better running back. I think Etienne has the better hands. So, you could split the difference. But, like, if you ask me, would I rather have Walker on 3 years or Etienne on 4?
Sure.
I'd rather have Walker on 3. He's also 2 years younger.
Mm-hmm.
He's 25 and Etienne's 27. I would have been fine no matter who they got. Sure. I really would have been. I was fine either way. We've talked about this a ton. Like, look, either guy would have been fine for me. Like, they're different guys. Etienne is not quite the home run hitter Walker is. Etienne's a little bit of a better receiver. Walker's not quite the blocker, but Walker's got more explosiveness. I mean, whatever. It's like kind of who do you want? But like the Chiefs, it was fine. Like I had no problem with what the Chiefs did. The Saints only surprised me from the standpoint. It's like, did the Saints feel like they were a running back away?
Yes.
Yes, apparently. That was the move. They're like, well, now that we have him and Tyler Shuck, we're ready. Okay. But yeah, no, listen, I think to your point earlier, it's instructive about the fact that these two teams clearly were like, yeah, Jeremiah Love's not going to be there. So we're going to have to figure something out. And then Washington added Shad White.
Yeah.
And the Browns, I don't think they took 2 running backs last year. Although it's the Browns, you don't want to roll out something really stupid.
To compare, could take Ty Simpson.
If they take Ty Simpson at 6,
so funny.
I will be deceased. That will be it. Yeah, I think Jeremiah Love is either going 4 or 5.
Yeah.
I mean, Algier went to the Cardinals, so that kind of tells you that they're probably not that. And they restructured Kip Connor. So,
yep.
It'd be very Jetsy if they just were like Breece Hall and Jeremiah Love and no talent anywhere else. Man, I love that they traded for Geno, by the way. It's great.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Did you see that Breece Hall's out here tweeting when they kept giving out all those contracts? He's like, man, they sure do have a lot of money to give out contracts to people. Yeah.
That team is just...
They're holding that poor guy hostage.
Did you see, speaking of that, did you see Minka Fitzpatrick's presser?
Gosh. Yes.
Oh my God. There have been cheerier hostage videos. It was unbelievable. I'm like, is he all right?
No. He's got to play for the Jets.
I can't believe, he gets traded there. Teron Johnson gets traded to the Raiders.
Oh,
and
yeah.
That poor guy had to just be like, are you really? Thanks, guys. You couldn't have just cut me and let me go somewhere where I wanted to go. I have to go to the Raiders. thanks. It's just that's awesome.
That's one of the rare times that like they report like he's going to be cut unless they can find a trade.
And they traded him. I gotta tell you, I think it's kind of shitty with Buffalo. Like, yeah, for what? Some stupid pick swap, bro. Just cut him. Like, right. It was like they moved up 4 spots. He's been there for almost a decade. He's been an all pro for you. Let him go where he wants to go. Like, the Raiders, really? I mean, I don't know. I get it. It's a business and all that. But, like, there also is, like, a side of the business where a lot of teams will tell you, like, guy like that, you kind of have respect. Like, all right, we're just going to let him, we're going to let him find his next place. We're not going to worry about moving up 22 picks in the draft in, round 6. Yeah. But, listen, I mean, the way the Bills are going, I mean, they're going to need all those picks because everybody they're bringing in is ready for the home. So age-wise, so they are testing the Commanders' theory last year of like saying like how old can we make a roster? They're like, we are going to make one older. Which bold move considering how it went for the Commanders. And then down the or up the Beltway there, Baltimore was like, we too would like to see how old we can get in one fell swoop. Man, we got a lot to get to there. Yeah. There's a lot of can of worms to open there, but I want to power rank the Chiefs signings. Okay. But I think let's take a break first, and then on the other side, because we've already gone 30 strong, so let's take a break. Let's power rank the Chiefs signings so far, and then let's get into the rest of the league because there's so much to talk about. So much to talk about. All right, let's take a break. We'll be back right after this. Chiefs.
Just a short drive from Kansas City. Experience the history, the heritage, and the bourbon at Holiday Distillery. Tour Missouri's oldest distillery, where real Missouri bourbon is made the old-fashioned way. Walk the grounds, taste the tradition, and take home a bottle of something special. Make the trip, sip the story. Holiday Distillery, Weston, Missouri. Book your tour at holidaydistillery.com.
I'm BJ Kissel, founder and CEO of KC Sports Network. Emprise Bank has been with us from the beginning. They were our first network partner, and they believed in the vision of what we were building from the start. I can't speak to any other banks or companies and how they operate, but I can tell you from personal experience and based on the growth of the network you're listening to right now, that if you have banking needs, call our friends at Emprise Bank. We've worked with so many great people there over the years, from Vicky and Aggie to Andrea, Lori, Jackie, Deb, and Aaron, and not to mention so many others that not just supported KC Sports Network, but supported our KCSN Foundation as well. But the best thing that I know is that if I have a question or a problem, no matter how dumb the question is, I know who I'm going to call and who I'm going to talk to, and I know that I'm getting an answer from someone that I can trust, and I know that person is there to help us. That's why Emprise Bank has always been and continues to be our partner in Possible, and they can be yours too. You just have to reach out. If you have a banking need, whether it's business or personal, hit me up. I will connect you directly with the same people that have helped us build KCSN. And that's our friends at Emprise Bank.
All right, let's power rank from 5 to 1. We go back and forth and we power rank things. If you don't know how things work, you should know.
You're dope. Yeah. Learn how to count from 5 to 1. If you haven't been able to figure that out and you're over the age of 6, you may be a moron. True. I'm not going to baby it. Come on. Mm-hmm. Can't figure out how power rankings work. You really probably shouldn't be allowed to drive.
It should be on the test.
Yeah. I would not trust you to be able to figure out how a light works at that point. All right. So we'll get this train rolling. Look, there's 5 signings from the outside. So it's pretty easy.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I have no beef with any of their signings, but number 5, I guess I'll just say DeMarcado, just from the standpoint that it's probably the least consequential. But I mean, listen, he's a good third down back, and they have not had one of those since McKinnon. So I'm all for it. But yeah, I'd put him at 5.
Yeah, I'm gonna go DeMarcado as well. I like DeMarcado coming out. I was kind of really into that TCU team that he was on when they made that national title run. Yep. Amani Bailey, I think, was the running back that he had kind of a split carries with, and he's a good third down back, good pass blocker. I got DeMarcado at 5 as well.
Okay. Number 4. Number 4. I would, I'll switch it up a little bit. I'll go Tonga.
Okay.
I like Tonga. I thought they paid a little more than I would have paid. personally. Although I'm saying that as if like I'm a GM of another team. I thought maybe they could get him like 5.5, 6. So it's not crazy. Thought it might be a 2-year deal, 3-year deal, but again, it's kind of a 2-year deal, the team option.
Sure.
I still feel like they need more pass rush juice next to Jones. So that's kind of part of this deal here. Now, maybe they feel like that's Norman Lott. If it is, fine, but like they better be right. I like him. Of all the contracts, it was the only one I was like, did they pay a little bit too much there?
Sure.
But I like him. I give it like a B signing, a B grade. I think it's a solid signing, quality. I think he will play a very important role in the team. So I do like that they acquired him.
Yeah.
But I'd put it at 4.
I've got Gilman at 4. They needed to fill the safety room. The safety room was like, it was bad. Yeah, bad looks all around, especially after Brian Cook signed with Cincinnati pretty early on in the day. They had to make a move at safety. Gilman was a guy who, didn't play. He was a rotational guy for the Chargers, was traded in the Odafe trade, and really started to play a lot better when he went to Baltimore. So he kind of was like started to fade away, and then they traded him away and played really well at Baltimore midway through the season. And then they kind of really started to use him as a versatile piece in that Baltimore defense. I think that can unlock a little bit of some stuff with Spags and the Spags defense. They love his versatility. Gilman is at 4 for me. Number 3 for you.
Kohou, if he stays healthy. He was healthy in the years prior. So it's not like he's got a big injury history, but
yeah.
He's a good player. He can blitz. He can play against the run. He is going to fill that slot position. Like, they were a disaster inside last year. I mean, they were just because McDuffie was not a slot corner for them. He was a boundary corner, and they played Jamari Conner in there, and we don't need to go over how that went. So I like the signing. Look, the big thing is just he's back from the knee and he's good. But he's a good player. Like, when he's healthy, he's a legitimately good player. So I really like that they brought him in. He's a guy who went under my radar because he was out all last year.
Yeah.
But I think it's a good signing. It's a good job by the Chiefs. I think he could be a really important player for them.
Number 3, I got Tonga because he's a big motherfucker and he plays fullback too. That's a little bit. He got some fullback snaps. You got to see him get. I wanted a fullback back in the offense. Pat Ricard went elsewhere. Alec Ingold went elsewhere. The fullback market kind of dead right now, but I think they really did their best to get a fullback by signing Tonga. It was getting snaps in there. 92 is a strong number for Khyiris Tonga, by the way. That's a good number for a D lineman. Tonga at 3 for me.
Number 2. Gilman. I actually really love that signing. Like, that signing gets like an A- for me. I think I really liked him when he was on the Chargers. The last 2 years he was there, he basically played 100% of snaps for them. He played a lot next to Derwin James. He really developed, and then they traded him away for a guy who just got paid $100 million.
Yeah.
And ironically, not by the Chargers, who have oodles of cap space and paid Khalil Mack. Just a wonderful bit of business.
They signed Trevor Penning too, right? Like, they re-signed him.
Yeah, brought him back. Found the money for him. Yes.
Good. Okay.
It was good. Not really. I mean, just had $100 million and found a way to just not improve at all. But in any event, it's unbelievable. Like, only they could have $100 million and do absolutely nothing to get better.
It's crazy.
Gilman has always been a guy I liked. I thought he played really well in Baltimore last year. He is versatile. He's, I think, at best when he's kind of allowed to roam as a free safety and play some coverage. He can play a little one-on-one against certain guys. 28 years old. I think it tells you a lot. Like, that guy played at Navy and then played at Notre Dame. Okay, you're not a moron if you're playing at Navy and Notre Dame.
He also sat out the year in between because that was back in the NCAA rules where you had to sit out.
Transfer.
So he only played 2 years of college football.
He played with Tranquil at Notre Dame and with the Chargers. So,
wow.
Yeah, big connection to Drew Tranquil. I think he's going to be really good in this defense. I've always liked Gilman. He's kind of like Justin Reed light. Like, Justin Reed's Justin Reed's a better player than Gilman, but Gilman is similar in the sense I think he can do a lot of things. I think he can really kind of run that back into the defense. So I like him a lot. I think he's going to prove to be a guy a lot of Chiefs fans really like.
Yeah, I do. His presser too today, like, you could tell that he was really smart and he really was like understanding of like, okay,
he will fit very well as Spags.
The role I'm coming into is like he wants to go to that next Tyrann Mathieu, Justin Reed level. Like, he understands, like, that's what it is. Number 2 might be a shocker. I got Kenneth Walker at number 2.
Wow,
Look, I'm a big Kenneth Walker guy. I was really big on him. He was actually number 1 on my wish list that we put out. Kenneth Walker, number 2. I got one up my sleeve for number 1, but they needed to get better in the rush game, and they did. They needed a better running back. They got one. Shout out to them going out and addressing a need. Did they aggressively overcorrect? Maybe, but they got this reigning Super Bowl MVP, and I'm glad that they have now a Super Bowl MVP handed off to a Super Bowl MVP. That's kind of cool.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to stun anybody here. I'll take Kenneth Walker III at number 1 for the reason that he can run the football, and no one on the Chiefs could for about a decade. So
you can see, yeah.
Yes, the man has a gift of sight and has functioning legs. So it'll be when the first time he breaks off like a 25-yard run, CBS is going to pan up to the front office box, and they're going to show Veach just like openly weeping. Yeah, and then they're going to come back down to the field, and the Chiefs are going to have to call timeout because the offensive linemen are hugging each other with like tears in their eyes as if they've just won like their 5th straight Super Bowl. Walker's going to get carried off the field like he's Rudy after the first time he breaks a 25-yard run. So, number 1 with a bullet for me. To me, it's an easy call.
My number 1 is the next one. The next signing that the Chiefs signed.
Kohou really got shafted. He didn't get in there.
Kohou did not get a mention.
Wow.
I dropped Kohou off just to say the next one. Man, I dropped him off for the bit. That's a relentless on my part, but
wow.
If you know me, I love a good bit, and so the next Chiefs free agent signing is my favorite one, which hopefully I'm banking on being an edge. I don't know who's out there though. That's the other problem.
You know, I'll give you a name, okay? And there was like some stupid like fake report or whatever. I'll tell you who I'd really like them to sign. I'll give you 2 guys who are older guys. Actually, I'll give you 3. I'll give you 3 guys.
All right, lay it on me.
They're all well into their 30s, and they're all damn good players.
Okay.
Number 1 is Danico Autry. He can play inside and out. The guy's been good for years. Danico Autry has been a good player everywhere he has been for a long damn time. Yep. Okay, and if you're like, oh, Danico Autry, know the name, don't know the player. He's 35. He'll be 36 in July. Since 2017, here are his sack totals. 5, 9, 3.5, 7.5, 9, 8, 11.5, 3, 3.5. Like, and he plays like 50% of snaps.
Yeah.
And he's 285 pounds. You can move him inside and out. Okay, so there's one. Another guy, Calais Campbell. Calais Campbell turns 40 on September 1st.
I'll be honest, that's younger than I thought he was.
Bro, last year, he played for the Cardinals. Played 46% of the snaps. He had 6.5 sacks and 16 quarterback hits.
That's crazy.
Man remains a freak. 315 pounds. Give me that guy as the other DT. And then Cam Jordan is going to go to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he will.
Cam Jordan's going to be 37 in July. He had 10.5 sacks last year.
Yeah.
Give me any of these guys on a 1-year deal. Like, I'm not saying that doesn't mean you don't draft Bain or Bailey at 9, right?
Sure.
You absolutely still do. But, man, if I told you, hey, we're going to draft Ruben Bain at 9, we're going to have Autry or Campbell next to Jones on pass downs, we're going to have Tonga in there on rundowns and Karlaftis on the other side. Like, that's a real defensive line.
Yeah. That's
a real line. Or like, hey, you know what? Bain's going to split time with first ballot Hall of Famer Cam Jordan. And you're going to have Chris Jones inside, and you're going to have Norman Lott inside, and Tonga inside, and Karlaftis on the other side. Like, go sign one of these dudes for like 1 year.
Yeah.
And if you're Cam Jordan, honestly, like maybe he just wants to do the thing where he plays his whole career at the Saints. Like, I can respect that.
Mm-hmm.
But if he wants to win a ring, could do worse.
He could.
Could do a hell of a lot worse.
Some of the Bills.
Well, I'll tell you what, he'd be young on the Bills.
Yeah.
Bills are going to call us in a few years.
Yeah. I'm looking at this list. I honestly, here's the other part too. I don't know if there was an edge rusher on the market, period, that would have recluded them from taking an edge at 9.
No.
Just with how this class worked out. What do you think about this guy here? His name is Michael Michael Dana.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
The answer is no. And I'm gonna lose my fucking mind if they bring back.
If they re-sign him on a 1-year deal.
I feel like that's such an on-brand, like, yeah, you know what? Turns out like 1 in 3 million, like I will go insane. I was so happy when Derek Nottie signed with the Colts.
Yeah.
Although we know that he could get traded.
Look, the 6th rounder is they have a 6th rounder. So I mean, they are willing to deal. I thought friend of KCSN, and he is KCSN draft guide contributor as well. Zach Hicks covers the Colts for them. Love Zach, great guy. He kind of like summed up like the Derek Nottie experience best. I think I saw this.
I think I saw this tweet. Go ahead.
He said, "Pros."
Yeah. Such a great tweet.
He's a beef. I can't find it right now, but I remember off the top of my head just because it was that good. Beef of a man. Big old dude. He's a big dude. Cons, watch him play football. I mean, like, turn on the tape. Like, that is the cons. And yeah, it is, it is a vet min deal, basically, that is pretty much going to be a camp body from my understandings for Derek Nottie. Like, that's where he's at in his career. But very hilarious tweet from Zach, because there was no other. That's a perfect way to encapsulate the Derek Nottie experience right now.
The exact tweet is Derek Nottie, pros, 300-pound chunk.
Yeah.
Cons, the film is absolutely brutal. It'll be a very cuttable minimum contract. Well, yeah, it will be.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, the best thing I can say about the Chiefs offseason so far, and you said this half hour ago, is that they are not just running it back with a bunch of guys. Which, that guy played here 4 years ago. Mm-hmm. Like, to get new players, bringing in new blood. They're all guys who are like in their prime of their careers. Like, not just some fucking guy who 4 years ago, this guy played 2 downs for us. He knows the scheme. So it's been nice to see that change. Although it does scare the hell out of me that Najee Johnson and Juju remain unsigned. It's just looming in the distance.
They are looming back there.
Somebody asked me today, I'll ask you, how would you feel if they signed Hollywood?
I'd hate it, actually.
That's exactly what I said. Okay,
I think Hollywood is... I'll be nice. I don't think Hollywood has it anymore.
I agree. Okay. So we're in lockstep, because I thought about it for a brief second. I'm like, honestly, it would represent everything I'm done with this team doing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm like, he's not like the worst player in the world or anything, but I just go get somebody else.
Yeah. Somebody else can do what he was doing.
How do you feel about Keenan Allen or Juwan Jennings?
I like Juwan Jennings a little bit better than I like Keenan Allen. But I wouldn't be upset if they signed either of those guys, truthfully. I don't think Keenan Allen would come to Kansas City, but who knows? The price is right. Money talks.
That's right. Mike Evans just went to play next to that substation.
Did you send me that tweet? Did you send me that tweet about the substation?
I don't know if it was me. I can't remember, but I saw it like, oh boy, the elderly player going next to the substation.
It was the video of like the turkey leg. Have you ever seen that?
Oh yeah. Yes, I have.
The barbecue leg, he just taps it and just like all the muscles, all the meat falls off. That's gonna be Mike Evans, actually.
I know. We've got about 15 minutes left here. Max Crosby, that was something.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we got to talk about that. That might be the craziest thing that's happened like in sports
in a while.
Yes.
And that's saying something, because Bam Adebayo scored 83 points in a game.
The same night.
The Wizards were actively trying to like get him to 100. It was unbelievable. Okay. It was a group effort to get Bam Adebayo to 83 points.
Before we dive into Max Crosby, that basketball show sidebar, are you upset that he scored 83 points? Do you think it's like, oh, it's unethical?
Okay. 2 things are going to be true here at once for me. All right. I'm not upset that he scored 83 points. Like, no. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
All right.
Right.
And I understand. I get like the Kobe aspect of it. I get it.
Nah.
But like, listen, like the world, I mean, it's tragic. It's awful. Like the world goes on. Like, people are going to score points. The problem I have with it is it's really just, it got, like the fourth quarter of that game was one of the most shameless things you'll ever see in your life. It just got to a point where you're like, hey guys, Like, I don't care that you play him. Play him to the end. That's fine. You want to go for 90. Let him go for 90. But, like, the Wizards are just an embarrassment. Like, this is – Alex Spoelstra on Thursday was just like, yeah, you know what? We're playing a team that's trying to lose games.
Yeah.
What other sport would that ever be said?
Yeah.
The NBA is a fucking disaster right now, man. Like, I'm sorry. Look, I'm not professing to be the biggest NBA fan in the world. I'm a Knicks fan. I mean, I'll watch them throughout the play. Like, the NBA is a disaster in that regard. Like, an absolute fucking train wreck. But yeah, all that's going on as the Raiders are putting out a statement that's like, fuck the Ravens. The deal's off.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay. I've had the flu all week and woke up like right as all this was happening and thought for about 5 minutes it was a fever dream.
Yeah. Oh, I would. Yeah, 100%.
And I was like, is this real? Like, what is going on? And then I was like, what is happening? And I called my editor and probably was incoherent, but basically said, if the Ravens sign Trey Hendrickson tomorrow, this is going to be unbelievable. And that's exactly what they did.
Yeah. And according to reports, is like they reached out to Trey Hendrickson like Tuesday as well. They're just like, hey, buddy, how you doing? While they had Max Crosby in the building. And then they're just like, whoa. We were going to sign both of them, guys. We were going to sign both of them. Bullshit.
Which, by the way, there was a report that was put out there that like the Ravens are going to make Crosby one of the highest paid edge guys once they brought him in. And then Crosby's agent tweeted to that reporter, I was like, fake news. I was like, damn, cooked.
Yeah.
Listen, the amount of water carrying going on in this situation
Good
is
Lord, it's
all
getting
time.
bad.
Like, guys, we're all adults. Let's just say it. The Ravens watched half their team leave in free agency. And Eric DeCosta's like, fuck, you know what would be really helpful right now? Having those 2 first-round picks. And then Trey Hendrickson was still sitting on the market. And they're like, you know what? Could probably just give him the money we're going to pay Crosby and save our 2 first-round picks. And we could just fail his ass on the physical. Like, let's be real. That is a much more likely scenario than what has been painted, which is like this 3D chess of like, you know, the Ravens knew he had a knee surgery, but apparently thought he was magically going to be 100% during this physical.
Right.
Then he wasn't. But they also wanted him and Hendrickson, despite having no fucking cap space.
Correct.
Like, look, I very rarely am ever going to get on here and really go after somebody else's reporting because, like, I don't think that's the right thing to do, and I'm not that person, and they have their own sources, and I respect that and whatever. That being said, there are times, like, your reporting has to match reality.
Yeah.
And in this case, you're being taken for a ride if you honestly think they were going to bring in both of these guys. Like, are you serious with this? Yeah. And there have been times in my career, look, not that I am a big transactional reporter every once in a blue moon, but rarely. But like, I remember one time an agent telling me, like, this person that they were representing, oh, they're going to get, you know, it was like $12 million a year, $12 million. And I'm like, there's no way this guy's getting $12 million. So finally, like after the third text, was like, buddy, I know what you're doing. Like, just stop. I'm not tweeting this out. I'm like, real number? It's like 4. Like, yeah, okay. There you go. Like, just stop. Like, there's no world, right? Like, what are we doing? It's like if Najee Johnson's agent hit me up and was like, hey, Matt, put out there that 8 teams are interested in him for $10 million a year.
Yeah.
They're not. Right. Like, I mean, it doesn't take Columbo to figure that out, right? So the idea that the Ravens are crestfallen because they wanted them both is insane. Like, there's no world that was happening. None. Okay? So, yeah, like, you get that going, then, like, oh, they were going to give Crosby this new deal. Mm-hmm. They just traded 2 first-round picks.
Yeah.
He's making $30 a year. They weren't going to rip it up and give him $40 a year. Like, there's no way that's happening. You could argue that the Ravens screwed the Raiders because the Raiders now have Crosby, who's, like, viewed as damaged goods with his knee, and they have to, you know, relinquish, in a sense, these 2 first-round picks. Mm-hmm. I'll also argue, though, in a way, like, the Ravens also screwed themselves because
Yeah.
While this was going on, Monday and Tuesday, they lost like 9 guys to free agency.
Oh, yeah.
And listen, Trey Hendrickson, great player. Not getting any younger, and you gave him a 4-year contract.
He's older, actually, than Max Crosby is.
Yes, like significantly. So I don't know what the hell the Ravens and the Bills are having like a competition to see like who can be the first team to ever house a starting lineup that averages an age of 48. I don't know what is going on. Hendrickson, by the way, is 32 in December.
Yeah.
And coming off here, he played 7 games in.
It is crazy how old he is.
I don't understand what's going on. Like, it's insanity. That is the Raiders got screwed. I'd argue the Ravens, like, they get their picks back, but they also in a way got screwed. Mm-hmm. I'll go on record on March 12th, and we got to see the draft. The Ravens are not good.
No.
I look forward to all these analytical nerds. I actually think they're going to win the Super Bowl. Yeah, they're not. I'll just save you. Unless they hit the draft out of the park and then some. Yeah, they're not going to the Super Bowl. They're not even going to approach it. Like, they have about 7 good players, and the rest of that team is a collection of Mm-hmm. And of those 7 guys, like 2 of them are under the age of 30.
Yeah, that's tough.
Lost Ricard, lost Stout, lost Likely, lost Linderbaum, lost Gilman, lost Van Noy. Just keep on going. And I'm supposed to believe this team is good because what? They have 1 receiver, Lamar, who's been hurt more often than not the last 5 years. 32-year-old Derrick Henry.
Yep.
Matt Abike, is he ever going to play again? I mean, I hate it for him, but he had a really serious neck injury.
It's a great question.
Roquan Smith, 29, wasn't the same player last year. And you've got who exactly? Marlon Humphrey at 30 years old? Trey Hendrickson at 31 and a half?
Yeah.
Not loving the roster, guys. Kyle Hamilton and Zay Flowers are the only guys who are under the age of 29 who are good on that team.
Mm-hmm.
That seems mildly concerning.
And meanwhile, the Chiefs' other big competition in the AFC is trying to put together the collection of worst football players ever to play the game because the Buffalo Bills are doing something crazy where they just don't even see if these guys are good at football. C.J. Gardner-Johnson was the latest addition to that, and I thought what? C.J. Gardner-Johnson, if you go to his Pro Football Reference page, it is a hilarious page. Yeah, he's been in 5 teams in 6 years or 6 teams in 5 years or something like that?
Okay, so 2021, Saints. 2022, Eagles. 2023, Lions. 2024, Eagles. 2025, Bears and Texans. So 6 teams, if you include Philly twice, you want to include them once, 5, since the start of the 2021 season. I don't know. Not awesome. He played really well for Philly 1 year. And that's kind of it.
1 year too. Yeah.
And somehow that's not the oddest signing. Like 1 year for Gardner-Johnson, whatever, it's 1 year. Bradley Chubb got 3 years and $43 million, and he's 30 years old, and he plays half the games.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
Joey Bosa's still out there. They could add him if they want another player who's.
Why not? Sure. And I know there's been a whole lot of hey man, he had 8.5 sacks and 20 quarterback hits last year, and then the people who chart this stuff. They do high quality, this, that, and they're it's one of the worst quality years you've ever seen. Bradley, I remember watching Bradley Chubb in a handful of games last year and thinking man, he can't move anymore. And the Bills apparently have a different opinion, which maybe they'll be proven right, but boy, they better be because they signed him, they traded for DJ Moore. They're giving these guys pretty significant contracts, and I don't know why. I don't understand what the thought process is. By the way, as is often the case with older players, Chubb was white hot to start last year. He had 4 sacks the first 5 weeks and then just fell off an absolute cliff the rest of the season.
Yeah.
And 4.5 the entire rest of the year, 2 of which came against the Buccaneers when they were just massive free fall. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like, it feels like the Bills just went into this offseason. We're like, we're going to get a couple of name guys. It doesn't matter that they're older. It doesn't matter that they're rapidly declining. Like, we're just going to, get names. We're going to put them on tickets, and we're going to hope it works out. And it's like, yeah, if you could turn back the clock 5 years, this could be awesome.
Yeah, like trading for DJ Moore too. Talked about that like a couple when that happened.
That trade is genuinely hilarious.
But like a 2nd round pick,
it's not great.
Insane. They're doing something that no one has ever done before and trying to see how bad of a football team they can put together. This is like it's like they're trying to tank. And they have Josh Allen as their quarterback. What I thought was funny is they didn't restructure him until like Wednesday. It's like, oh yeah, I guess we'll restructure his contract. It's like, oh, did Brandon Beane just think free agency started? Which, speaking of restructures, Drew Tranquil restructured. So shout out to him for taking a $2 million pay cut in this economy. So it takes a brave man.
Yeah, well, I think he realized he probably wasn't getting more elsewhere. So
yeah, he probably either like, hey, you're gonna have to get a pay cut, or you're gonna be cut and not be on this football team. And he's like, I'll take the pay cut. It's probably what that comes down to.
Yes.
Before we get out of here, Matt, final thoughts. The Big 12 is removing the LED court, and they're playing the rest of their games on the hardwood. You see that?
It's nice that they've joined real basketball. Yeah, that's good.
I went to a Big 12 game. I went to West Virginia, BYU, and like seeing the court, I was like, this is actually kind of nuts. Like player intros was like, this is kind of cool, you know? And then they played basketball on it. And then it wasn't as cool anymore.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, well, at least they tried it. Last thing from me, I'll give my thoughts on the 83-point game. So I guess you don't care about this. I think that it's hard to talk about ethical hoops when you talk about high scoring games because Wilt Chamberlain's alleged 100-point game. I'm not so sure it happened. I'm a conspiracy theory about that. It's like
as a Knicks fan, I'm fine saying it didn't happen.
All right, cool. I've never seen footage of it, so it didn't happen. So allegedly during that game, they started fouling Wilt Chamberlain, and then he kept making his free throws. So then they started fouling the other team. It's like they all turned into debacles at the end of it. Kobe's last game, like Kobe's 84-point game, ended with him like his last however many points were all free throws. It's like that. They all end like that. Now, to an extent of what they were doing, maybe not that much, but they're all spectacles to an extent. All these high scoring games. So I'm not necessarily going to be torn up over ethical hoops when it comes to a high point scoring game. If you're scoring that many points anyway, it's not ethical. Think about it.
I agree with you for the most part. I just feel like the NBA has completely lost its mind.
That is also true. I think those two are mutually exclusive.
Yeah, the NBA. But, like, yeah, these people who are pearl clutching who are like, when Kobe scored 81, it was a natural 81. It's like, listen.
I still think he took like 30-some free throws.
Like, God rest the man's soul. But let's be really honest about this. We're going to sit here and pretend like Kobe didn't hunt shots when he played.
Oh.
I mean, loved watching Kobe, but wasn't exactly a man who was like, let me dish this off to the Andrew Bynum. Like, and by the way, rightfully so. Okay, but like,
no Lamar Odom in that one.
Yeah, one of the greatest sound bites ever. Stephen A. Smith and Lamar Odom. I'll everybody look that up. One of the funniest things I've ever heard in my life. But yeah, I mean, yeah, like, listen, I don't mind. Like, nobody scores 80 points by like deferring to teammates.
Yeah.
The problem I have with just the NBA is just the NBA's like just general lack of like even trying to win games. It's like, come on. I mean, the injury report in the NBA, half these teams come out and they're like, well, this guy's out because of load management. And this guy's out because his pinky hurts. And this guy's out because of this. And it's like, and all 5 of these guys are out for the Jazz because like, we don't give a fuck. We just want to lose every game we play. And it's like, how is anyone watching this? Like,
crazy.
It's insane. It's the only sport that I consider myself a fan of a team that I don't really actively watch till the playoffs because the regular season is just such a joke that I don't even waste my time with it.
Yeah.
Like, even as a Knicks fan, what is the point? I'm not learning anything. Half these teams, when they play the Knicks, it's like, oh, everybody's got a maintenance day coming up. It's a back-to-back. Like,
yeah.
I'm not going to watch them beat up like the B squad Nets. Who cares? Care about that.
Yeah, I don't have League Pass either, so that makes it tough.
I just found out that I do. And I'm not happy about it. I paid for League Pass and watch it once.
Kobe, sorry, Claire, he shot 20 free throws. Kobe did in his game, but he also put up 46 field goals. Out of the team's 88. So I don't want to hear anything about
more than half.
I don't want to hear anything about ethical hoops.
Who was the second leading scorer?
Ooh, Smush Parker.
Was he really?
Yeah, Smush Parker. 13 points, 5 of 11 from the field, 1 of 5 from 3-point range, 2 for 2 on the old.
No, I got to be fair to Kobe. He should have shot it even more.
Yeah, you know what? Listen to the starting lineup. Lamar Odom.
Yeah.
Chris Milne.
Oh.
Kwame Brown and Smush Parker. That's your starting 5 with Kobe, obviously.
I got to take back. Kobe should have shot 75 times.
The fact that some people took the other half of shots is crazy.
To be fair, Kobe actually was more differential than he should have been. He should have been taking every shot.
Shout out to Brian Cook for getting 2 points in that game. Not the Brian Cook you're thinking of, though.
I remember Brian. No, I'm thinking of Brian Grant. Brian Cook. Oh, my God. I have no idea who that is.
And Brian Cook went to Illinois from Lincoln, Illinois.
Oh, it's terrible.
He's a first-round pick by the Lakers. Averaged 5.5 for his career. Horrible. All right, that's going to do it for this Friday edition of That Football Show. I don't think we have anything else to talk about. If we do, we got another show on Monday. So stay tuned, stay locked in. Then, it's a Friday, so that means I got to look and see if anyone else wrote us a screenplay on the podcast reviews. Thank you guys so much for leaving your 5-star rating and reviews. 5 days ago. Yeah, I don't think I would have read this 5 days ago. Tucker, That Football Show is the best. This is from DFizz8. Tucker and Matt are the reason I started listening to KCSN. Hell yeah. Cool. The goats of KC Sports Talk. Wow, that's high praise. Keep it up, guys. So much better than the rest of KCSN. Yeah, that's what we love. That's what we love right there.
That's
baby
right.
DFizz.
Oh, they're all trash.
Oh, yeah, that's right, DFizz. Did we do the Terry? Yeah, we did do Terry the Mailman.
Yes.
I think that's all of them.
All right.
So make sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Let us know in the comment section how good we are and how much everybody else sucks.
Yeah.
We appreciate that. We'll be back on Monday. So until then, for Brett Veach, I'm Tucker Franklin. We'll see you then.